Hello everyone, this is Alpa Ghosh, Assistant Professor, Department of Management, the Bhopal School of Social Sciences. Today I am going to introduce you with the subject Financial Management. The learning objects of this subject will be meaning of finance and its definitions, meaning of corporate business finance and its definitions, financial management meaning and definitions, types of finance and objectives of financial management. Upon successful completion, you will be able to demonstrate an understanding of the overall role and importance of the finance. Describe the financial environment within which organizations operates, and will be able to evaluate the financial objectives of business, concerns and the requirements of stakeholders. So, let us start with the meaning of finance. Finance may be defined as the art and science of managing money. It includes financial services and financial instruments. Finance is also referred as the provision of money at the time when it is needed. Finance function is the procurement of funds and their effective utilization in the business concerns. The concept of finance includes capital, funds, money and amount. As each word is having unique meaning, studying and understanding the concept of finance becomes an important part of the business concern. Let us start with the definition. The definition of finance, according to Professor Khan and Jain, finance is the art and science of managing money. According to the Oxford Dictionary, the word finance is management of money. So, when we talk about finance, we can also come to the conclusion that there are types of finance. Finance is one of the important and integral part of business concerns. Hence, it plays a major role in every part of business activities. It is used in all the area of the activities under the different names. So, let us classify the finance into two groups. The first one is public finance and the second is private finance. Public finance, it concerns with income and expenditure of government such as central government, state government and semi-government financial matters. The second one is private finance, which includes the individual, firms, business or corporate financial activities to meet the requirements. From here, our scope of study starts. We in financial management are concerned with only private finance and that too business or corporate finance. The definition of business finance, according to Professor Willer, business finance is that business activity which concerns with the acquisition and conversion of capital funds in meeting financial needs and overall objectives of a business enterprise. According to the thoughts of Professor Gutman and Doggle, business finance can broadly be defined as the activity concerned with planning, raising, controlling and administering of the funds used in the business. So, when we conclude with the business finance, we can say that it is the activity only concerned with planning, raising, controlling and administering of funds raised in the business. Now, let us come to the point financial management. Financial management is an integral part of overall management. It is concerned with the duties of the financial managers in the business firm. It is concerned with the efficient use of the important economic resource, namely capital funds. The most popular and acceptable definition of financial management as given by Professor S.C. Kutchal is that financial management deals with procurement of funds and their effective utilization in the business. Here procurement of funds means the raising of funds. The raising of funds through different sources and using that fund only and only for business activities. Thus, financial management is mainly concerned with the effective funds management in the business, and that is to the fund which has been raised. In simple words, financial management as practiced by business firms can be called as corporate finance or business finance. Financial management is the operational activity of a business that is responsible for obtaining and effectively utilizing the funds necessary for efficient operations. The objectives of financial management: the effective procurement and efficient use of finance lead to proper utilization of the finance by the business concern. It is the essential part of the financial manager. The financial manager must determine the basic objectives of the financial management. Objectives of financial management may be broadly divided into two categories. The first one, profit maximization, and the second one, wealth maximization. So, let us start with profit maximization. The main aim of any kind of economic activity is earning profit. A business concern is also functioning mainly for the purpose of earning profit. Profit is the measuring technique to understand the business efficiency of the concern. Profit maximization is also the traditional and narrow approach which aims at maximizing the profit of the concern. Ultimate aim of the business concern is earning profit. Hence, it considers all the possible ways to increase the profitability of the business. Profit is the parameter of measuring the efficiency of the business. So, it shows the entire position of the business concern. There are few arguments which are in favor of profit maximization. These points are in support that a firm should always aim at profit maximization. So, let us start with the first one. The main aim is earning profit. Business is an economic activity, dear children. So, why not earning more and more profit? When the business is established to earn profit only, so we should also aim at earning more profit. Profit is the parameter of the business operation. Yes, the efficiency of a business is measured in terms of profit of a business. So, when we are being assessed on the basis of the profit that we generate in the business, then what is harm in generating more and more profit? The third point states that profit reduces risk of the business concern. Yes, profit reduces the risk because if we do not aim in earning more and more profit, we can have a loss or less profit also. The fourth point states that profit is the main source of finance. Profit is the main source of finance in a way that the accumulated profit is used as the main source of internal finance in the organizations. So, the organizations aim at earning more and more profit. Profitability meets the social needs also. There is an obligation of the firms as per law to comply with the social responsibilities. A firm with less profit or with no profit is not in a position to go for the welfare of the society. A firm with more and more profit can only think of discharging the corporate social responsibilities. So, in order to give welfare and benefit to the society, the firm always needs more and more profit. There are some thoughts that are against the objectives of profit maximization also. The profit maximization leads to the exploiting of workers and consumers. The owners start exploiting the workers and employees by not paying them properly. They are not paid with their wages, salaries and incentives. They are also required to work beyond the working hours without proper overtime allowances. They are also not provided with proper hygiene conditions in their working places. Due to the mindset of earning more and more profit, the inferior quality of raw materials are purchased and the production process carries without proper use of technological advancements, resulting more prices charged from the consumers. The second argument against profit maximization states that it creates immoral practices such as corruption and unfair trade practices in the industry. It also states that profit maximization leads to inequalities among the stakeholders such as customers, suppliers, shareholders, etc., because they are not properly paid as per their efficiency and efforts in the organization. The profits earned are not equally distributed amongst all the factors. This creates an atmosphere of distress amongst the stakeholders in the organization. Though profit maximization is one of the objectives of financial management, dear learners, it has certain drawbacks also. The first drawback that has been stated is it is vague. In this objective, profit is not defined precisely or correctly. It creates some unnecessary opinion regarding earning habits of the business concern. Example, for some it may be profits after depreciation and tax, but for others it may be earnings before tax. For some it may be operating profit and for others it may be net profit. So, we are coming to the second drawback. The second one is it ignores the time value of money. Profit maximization does not consider the time value of money or the net present value of the cash inflow. It leads certain differences between the actual cash inflow and net present cash flow during the particular period, as the value of money is not the same in future. The third drawback is it ignores risk. Profit maximization does not consider risk of the business concern. It always goes with the saying, more profit, more risk. Risks may be internal or external, which will affect the overall operation of the business concern. In spite of these risks, the concern always aims in earning more and more profit. So, coming to the second objective of financial management is wealth maximization. Wealth maximization is one of the modern approaches which involves latest innovations and improvements in the field of the business concern. The term wealth means shareholders' wealth or the wealth of the persons who are involved in the business concern. Wealth maximization is also known as value maximization or net present worth maximization. This objective is an universally accepted concept in the field of business. Here, by value maximization, we mean that the value of the shares are being increased, which ultimately is due to the profits. Wealth maximization also has certain supporting arguments in favor. Wealth maximization is superior to the profit maximization because the main aim of the business concern under this concept is to improve the value of the wealth of the shareholders, which ultimately benefits the firm. Second, wealth maximization considers the comparison of the value of cost associated with business concern. Total value detected from the total cost for the business operation. It provides extract value of the business concern. The third one is wealth maximization considers both time and risk of the business. Wealth maximization provides efficient allocation of resources. It also ensures the economic interest of the society. Now, coming to the arguments which are not in favor of wealth maximization. The first one, wealth maximization leads to prescriptive idea of the business concern, but it may not be suitable to present day-to-day business activities. Wealth maximization is nothing, it is also profit maximization. It is the indirect name of profit maximization according to some thinkers. Wealth maximization creates ownership and management controversy because the management never wants to increase the wealth of the shareholders where their own interest is hampered. Management alone enjoy the certain benefits. The ultimate aim of wealth maximization objective is concluded as profit maximization. Wealth maximization can be activated only with the help of profitable position of the business. So, dear students, this is all in today's session. Thank you for your patience listening.